Yes, so hi friends, we are again back with our new video on acclimatizing with contract law. So this is our first video for contract law, and let's see where how we can acclimatize ourselves with the contract law. So this video is our first video of the series of contract law, and in this we will see that what are the contracts and what are the essentials of the contracts. So I guess this video is for new students, law first year or CLAT students can see it and can get the idea of how the contract law works and what are the contracts, what are the basic fundamentals of contract law. So we will see step by step from the fundamental that how the contract law works. So it's an introduction to contract law and Indian Contract Act. So let's start. So agenda of the day. Today we will try to cover what are the contracts, coordination between voluntary parties, communication, voluntary parties, the communication of contract, understanding section 2. We'll also understand section 2. Then we will see consideration, agreement, communication. Let's see how can we cover in this segment. I guess we'll cover this up to this in one video, and we'll see, we'll try to cover other things in next video. So let's see first of all that what are the contracts. So we see a lot of contracts in our daily life. We see these kinds of files, but my question to you is that let's keep it in English. So my question to you is that only these piles of files, can we say that only these are contracts, or there are informal agreements and informal contracts too? These are the formal and written contracts, right, that we see in our daily lives as well, right? So whether it's an agreement to sell any property or to sell any good or to do any business or in a firm, or whether maybe it's a partnership contract. So we see these in the form of big files. But the question stands that are these only the type of contract, or there are different type of contracts too, right? So let's see. So let's take an example, right? We go through this many times a day. The example of parking garage, right? If we have to go in a mall and we are parking our car in the parking area, so can we say that the contract is made here? Let's analyze the situation. The contract here is that they are going to look after your car, and in consideration you are going to pay them, right? So there comes the consideration. What here they defines the role, right? What role they are going to play and what role you have to play, right? So here comes a important topic and important segment of contract, that is consideration. What are the consideration, right? So these are the types of oral contract, right? There are no piles of file here, right? There is no written agreement, but here is a contract which is made orally, right? Now let's come to example 2, which shows us what are the implied contracts, right? One is express contract. Express means whether you express it whether through words or words may be written or oral, right? But in restaurant, for example, you ordered some food and you ate it, right? So can you just walk out by saying that we never signed a contract? Why should I pay? Right? You cannot do that because the moment you order the food, the moment you ate it, right? There was the implied contract that they are going to feed you and you are going to pay them in consideration. So this is the type of implied contract that we enter into in our daily lives. Same goes with auto rickshaw, right? When you stop any auto rickshaw and you sit in it and you say him that drop me any station at any place, then there is implied contract that they will take care and in consideration you have paid them, right? So that's the implied contract, right? It is implied that what conditions or what roles you have to play, right? It's implied. Now, third type of contract, we can say them the contracts like electronic forms, right? E-contracts. So in our daily lives, we also install many apps and many games. So we see the terms and conditions that there are written many terms and conditions, and the moment you click on I agree, it becomes certain that you are bound by the contract and the terms and conditions that are written there, whether you have read it or not. Yes, it's the ideal situation is that you should read the conditions, right? But if you have not read the conditions and you have clicked I agree, then you have entered into a contract by clicking that. Okay, so these are the other type of contracts. So we are surrounded. The main point I am trying to convey that we are surrounded by the contracts. Knowingly or unknowingly, we enter a lot of contracts in our daily lives, right? But when we study about the contract, about its essentials, then we are able to detect that what all contracts we are entering in our daily lives. We are able to identify. So another example we can take that is also we witness in our day-to-day life that a person comes up at the traffic lights and start wiping your car window, right, at traffic signal. He says to you, sir, can I wipe your car glasses? And you said, how much? He says only 20 rupees. Okay. And you said, okay. So here you made an oral contract, right? You entered into an express contract, and by expressing words, you are entering into the contract. But let's see the scenario changes and your car is parked while you are in the office, right? And one person came and wiped your glasses, right? Without saying anything to you, without your permission, without your consent, right? And when you come back to your car and he said, sir, I wiped your dusty car, it's 30 rupees. So in this case, do you have a contract or not? There was the elements of contracts were completed or not? Yes. Here we have to identify and here we have to examine that the essentials of contracts are completed or not. If they were completed, then you are into the contract, but if not, then you don't have any liability to pay him 30 rupees, right? So let's see in the next video that what makes you bind in a contract and what makes a valid contract, right? Okay, thank you for today, and meet in another class. Thank you. Hope you like the video and hope you subscribe and for the other videos in the series.